you have to, particularly at your level and your role where you are and where you'd like to go, whether you're trying to see where you fit or you're trying to move up or you're trying to switch sectors or industries, networking matters. People matter. Many jobs are not posted. It's a lot done by relationships, and if they are posted, they might be posted for short periods of time. If you're thinking about making a change, but you're not ready to really act on it, start networking as you're thinking. It's much easier to make these transitions when you're currently employed and you're currently thinking about what's in the future than if you're unemployed and feeling the pressure of needing to get to a paycheck right now. So to start with your network, let your network know discreetly that you're thinking about making a change. We all have people in our network who are safe that we can go to and talk to and let them know. And people know people. And ask them, I'm looking for information on this sector. I'm looking for information on this organization. I'm looking for information to address for organizations that address these needs. This is where I want to be making a difference. And ask them if they know anybody. And if they do know anybody, could they give you names, contact information, or better yet, make an introduction. Talking about networking too, I just want to make sure it is a human interaction business. And there's two forms of networking as far as I'm concerned. There's relational networking, and then there's transactional networking. And let me start with transactional. Transactional networking is where I might say, hey Craig, I'm interested in learning more about some new companies who've moved into Medellin. Could you put me in touch? Could you give me 3 companies? That's a transaction where I'm just asking Craig to help out with giving me some information. Or you might, with your contacts, ask someone to pass your resume on to a hiring manager. That, again, is transactional. Relational networking is where you truly develop relationships with people over time with the intention of making a career move. And relational networking might be first time you sit down, you might grab coffee for 20 minutes or a half an hour. And you want to, in developing a relationship, you really do want to get to know them, and then as a result, they will get to know you. So you need to come to these conversations prepared with questions and prepared with information you want to share, but also getting information from them. What's a typical day like? What are the challenges in this sector? It's best if you are not asking questions that you can easily find information online. You want to use these opportunities to really get insight into the nuances of a sector or an organization. What's the context? What's the culture? You know, here's a copy of my resume. Could you tell me how someone with my background might fit in? What would be some roles, some projects? What might be some job titles that might be good for me? And then they may not have anything open. They may not have any ideas at that time, but 3 to 5 months later, they very well might. And so keeping in touch with them, they may give you the name of 2 or 3 other people to talk to. You meet with one of them, and you get back, say, I give you the name of somebody to talk with. You would shoot me an email back and say, thanks so much. I had a great meeting. I'm actually going to go meet with somebody else at this organization, and I really just wanted to circle back and let you know I really appreciate you putting me in touch. That's relationships. That's keeping the relationship going, and that's what matters. Relational networking can also be reciprocal. It might be that you can help them out with something. You're looking for them for guidance, insight, connections, and information as you look to make your career position. You might have access to a report. You might have access to some research or know of a grant opportunity or something of that nature that might be a good fit for them. And sharing that and that reciprocity just strengthens the networking relationship there. The other thing I'd like to talk about with networking is you want to have your goals. You want to know what your goals are with every person you meet with and talk to. Think about what would I like to get out of this conversation. What's important for me to get out of this conversation? 20 or 30 minutes goes by very quickly. And sometimes those conversations will last an hour. Sometimes they may extend. But usually if you set up these interviews and you ask if it could be 15 to 30 minutes, people are more likely to meet. But what is your goal? Is it a position level? Is it a title, salary, nuances about the culture? Make sure that you get those questions in, and make sure also that you listen carefully to what they're telling you in that regard as well. Be prepared to answer questions about yourself and provide examples. Anytime you talk with somebody about networking and looking for a career transition, and you all have been in this situation probably yourselves where people have come to you, you're always evaluating, and you will be evaluated by somebody on what is your value add. Should I refer this person to a friend or a colleague? Should I, would this person be a good fit for a position I know might be opening up 3 months from now here? So when you are in the networking phase of this, you need to treat it like the job search, because it is an active part of the job search, but you need to treat it like an interview in that regard. One of the best techniques in interviewing and getting people's attention, networking and getting people's attention, is filling in the gaps, letting them know finding out where the gaps are, and demonstrating how your experience and your transferable skills can fill in the gaps.